And Keith Lee, what happened with tendernism?
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, man.
So we went one that was most highly requested place that we have had since since we started. Easily over 30,000 requests to go and try the food over at Tendernism. I was drawn to Unk. Unk is Walter. I believe his name is Walter Johnson, right? Saying it right?
We get it. Go ahead.
Okay,
but it is Walter.
I believe it is Walter.
Yeah.
So Walter is what initially made me want to go because his energy was infectious, and that's his name. Okay, his energy to me immediately reminded me of an uncle.
Yeah,
and
man.
You can't fake that. So it's like we were saying earlier, it's one thing to be able to turn it on and turn it off, but us, we know what it is and what it ain't.
He's like that in the dark, in the light,
you
camera
can tell
on, camera
it ain't
off.
nothing that he can put on, right? So that initially was what made us want to go, and it was something that we had tried because people don't realize how far that is from damn near anything else, unless you want to specifically go there, or unless you from there.
Dude, we here and it's far from here.
That's where we was in LA.
Yeah, man.
And I'm thinking, oh, if we fly into LA, we gonna be able to get there, and it wouldn't be. It was a 3-hour drive to get over there. And when we got there, we went. I always have my family go in first to get the customer service experience because again, it could be different if I go in. We got the food. The food, in my opinion, was good. Was it amazing? I wouldn't say so.
Right.
I think there were certain parts of it that were amazing. Like the oxtails were incredible. Some of the best oxtails I've ever had in my life. But the beef rib that was infamous for falling off the bone, it was a slice, allegedly, it was a slice in the back to where if you pick it up, the entire thing falls off.
Right.
Instead of it just
we heard
sliced.
that too.
Yeah, instead of it just coming off.
You didn't know that? I thought I heard that from you.
I didn't.
Yeah, they said it's pre-cut.
It was for sure.
Yeah, sliced. Damn, Lou, I thought I got that
The
from you.
oxtails were as tender as he said. As falling
You
off
got
bone,
me into
sliding, for
tendernism.
sure.
Yeah.
So I
No,
thought for sure that you knew. Oh, okay. I thought I got that from you.
We went. We had the food. Right after we got done eating, I attempted to go in and have a conversation with Unc. Again, we don't call beforehand. We don't set up meetings. We don't set up no times because the same experience that everybody else gets, I want the same experience. So when we went in, I just want to have a conversation with him, which I understand everybody gets busy. Schedules are different, right? So we went in. His security said he is in a podcast and he is not available. So I said, okay, is there a way that we could just leave him a tip? The plan was to leave him $4,000. And leave $1,000. I initially had $5,000 in cash. I want to leave $1,000 to pay for anybody to come in line after us, and then $4,000 directly to Unc. And it wasn't from a place of I felt like Unc was struggling or Unc needed it. It was a way to say thank you for what you do for our community.
Right.
We know what that is. We know how important it is to have strong Black old men that are positive role models in the community and that bring laughter and bring joy and bring energy to us, because it's not a lot of times where we have that representation for older Black men.
Right.
And I think it's getting less and less the more we get in media. I haven't seen a lot of old Black men with gray beards that are fun and can joke with a bunch of different cultures and bring cultures together. So that's why I wanted to leave them the money. Security pretty much told us it was over with. It was done for the day. It was no way that we was going to be able to have a conversation with them. So we ended up leaving. We ended up passing that entire $4,000 out to the community. We stood in front of Destination Smokehouse. We met a lady who was driving. She was riding a bike and she had a stroller attached to her bike. And she said that she was taking her niece to school back and forth. So we left her $1,000. It was a lady who had just lost her dad that cried the second she saw us. We left her $1,000. We met a lady who was a cheesecake. She made cheesecake, like a bakery owner. And she was making cheesecakes by hand and packing them. And she was there the entire time we was there for 3 or 4 hours. We left her $1,000. And we met another lady who also we had a full conversation with, left her $1,000, and then we left. A video comes out maybe a week later or 2 weeks later, and it's the owner of Destination Smokehouse saying that I was basically, I'm paraphrasing, but I was trying to do charity to Unc, and I was singling him out, and I shouldn't have singled out a business owner. I should have given the money to every person around that was inside the business. Bunch of nonsense in my opinion. And that it was something that I did on my end that was negatively affecting things, even though I just honestly gave my opinion. And it had nothing to do with the food. They were saying that because I didn't give Nick, who was the owner of the $4,000, that was part of the issue.
Yeah,
and
man.
I didn't see it that way. I still don't to this day don't see it that way.
Neither do I, bro. And I think Unc moved on.
Yeah,
and I think they trying to lock up on tenderness of name. And then I just saw afterwards. I just saw some
this stuff.
And I just saw some disturbing videos from Old Boy too.
And he started doing the
man. It was just a lot.
You don't want it to fall off the bone. You don't really want a pulled pork bite of this. You want to taste something where there's more pork flavor, more integrity left in the meat. Look at this.
Look. What the f?
Don't want it to fall off the bone.
I don't?
Want a pulled pork bite of this.
I told you that?
There's more pork flavor.
Who told you that?
Oh, so now we're supposed to strangle it. Great. Look! That's the Family Annihilator grip twist. He almost broke the bone in half trying to rip that meat off. And then he went to put the bone all in the camera. What am I supposed to do with this? I just saw you arm wrestle all of the flesh off. Go give that to Fido. I'm not impressed with this anymore. Ever since you tried to block Unc from receiving that $5,000 from Keith Lee, allegedly, even though he was the reason you were receiving all of that foot traffic and monetary gain, I knew he was in bad hands. You tried to seize that coin like a petty lord whose coffers can never be full enough. But I wasn't sure if Unc had the gall and the gumption to flee the plantation at his age. I wasn't sure if Unc had the vigor, but he found it. He went on the underground kitchen, and now he's doing his own thing. I'm proud of you, Unc. May you make enough for a comfortable retirement.
Destination Smokehouse, more like solidification. I have never seen somebody wring out a rib until yesterday. I'm talking about my man is holding this joint and doing the full tug of war with. We went from tenderism to frigidism. And all because you couldn't let Keith Lee give your mans some money. Bro was chilling out and was letting you abuse him, letting you get one over on him day after day. And you ain't think he was ever finna leave that stoop until he did. And now you out here putting barbecue sauce on ice cubes. Tenderism to tenderism, face ass. All because you got greedy. And look at you now. You don't know what to do with yourself. Out here telling us the meat not supposed to fall off the bone. Yeah, it's called pulled pork. You not supposed to have to get a kung fu grip. Why am my forearm stronger after trying to eat, bro? Unc out here serving the Isleys, serving a bunch of different celebrities, made his own restaurant, getting the bag, and he get to watch you fail because he ain't fall for the okie doke. See, people like to fake the funk when it comes to this legal jargon. I bet you he told Unc, you can't actually get this name. You can't get the rights to tenderism. Unc left, did it in 2 days. Keith Lee going to that restaurant and giving Unc 5 bands, or trying to, is what gave him the confidence to do what he's doing right now. Unc just ain't know he had support like that. But now that he knows, sky's the limit, baby. So I'm happy for Unc, man. Do your thing.
Ain't no way Destination Smokehouse made that video talking about you don't want the meat to fall off the bone. Oh, now you don't want the meat to fall off the bone. Now that you see Mr. Tenderism then trademarked his own brand and now he is doing his own thing, producing tender meat. Y'all was riding the hype wave of tenderism and tender ribs falling off the bone when it was benefiting y'all. Now that it's no longer benefiting y'all and people realize the secret behind the tender ribs, now y'all trying to remarket and rebrand yourself. They always try to get ahead of the narrative and rewrite history and shift the story and shift the common narrative to whatever the fuck they want it to be. Because why are y'all now trying to frame what ribs is supposed to be when ribs are supposed to be tender, slow cooked, falling off the bone? Don't nobody want them hard ass ribs that you gotta to bite off, like that fucking dog bone looking ass rib. Yo, they really fucking tried it. And they thought we was buying that? Yeah, try somewhere else.
That man really got on camera eating some meat that looked like it was made by Mattel, trying to convince us that that shit is delicious. That shit look like straight goddamn plastic. You see that sheen on it? And he up there talking about the real meat. Real meat ain't even supposed to be delicious. Real meat ain't supposed to fall off the bone and be all tender. That's how you know he cooked it too long. Now, the whole reason that people traveled across the country to come to your establishment, that tender ass meat, That ain't your calling card no more. Now you going with that rubber shit. You see how it's still on the bone and you really gotta chomp down into this shit to get the meat to come out? That's how you know you got real meat there, right? Before we reinvented ourselves, before we was cooking it way too long, let that shit simmer and going through the curing process, let it cool down and reheating and all that shit that get you worms. What you really need is your meat to be as close to raw as possible. That shit look nasty above it. He bit that shit and oh, that's real meat right there. You see how I really had to put some PSIs behind my bite? That's how you know you got some good meat. Boy, get the hell out of here. You could have saved that damn video.
So all of a sudden, now that Mr. Tenderism gone, the meat ain't supposed to fall off the bone? Oh, okay.
You don't want it to fall off the bone. You don't really want a pulled pork bite of this. You want to taste something where there's more pork flavor, more integrity left in the meat.
More integrity left in the meat. But you weren't saying all of that when it was Mr. Tenderism recipe. Okay.
Look at this. See how clean that is?
I'm just saying when Mr. Tenderism was there, all that work wasn't needed for the meat to fall off the bone.
The meat's supposed to have integrity. What the fuck are you talking about, sir? What are we using these words for when we talking about some good tasting ass food? That meat ain't had no tenderism. That slab or whatever it was had oil sheenism. It looked like you put Vaseline on it and then lather that shit down with some aloe vera. Tell me out, you see that? You see how clean the bone is? Fuck the bone. We eat the meat off the bone. Pause. You see what I'm saying? You see you got me scrambling and scraping the way you going over. You see what you got me doing? You got me scrambling. I like when you scrambling for shit like that. You see that? It's not supposed to be the way that Walt had it. Walt was setting me off. Shorty, what the Vlad is talking about? Ain't no way that Vlad looking ass man over there study. Just keep going. It's over with. Just sell the food the best way you can. All that, you see that integrity? To be completely honest, I don't even know what's going on. I think you should probably just start eating that shit in the ice bath or something. There wasn't no smoke coming off that shit or nothing. Wasn't no smoke. Ain't no way.
Confuse the enemy. Yep.